What is going on, folks? Welcome to tonight's episode of the Run and Gun podcast. I'm JPeeps,
And I'm Ace.
and boy, have we we got an interesting one for y'all tonight.
Oh yeah,
So much has happened here within the past
5 hours.
5-6 hours, man. It's crazy. We're gonna dive right into it after the intro and everything. I'm in shock. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
FAMU letting go their athletic director. We'll talk more about that. We have NFL draft coming up, so we'll talk more about what's going on over there. Recap the interview we had last night with Chris Zoglu from the last. Gotta go check that out. If you're on Twitter, I'm gonna post a YouTube link on Twitter so you can check it out. But
Yes.
leave a comment because the comment section works on YouTube and not on Twitter for some reason. But we will work on that eventually. But be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, subscribe. Yeah, I mean, let's hit this intro and get going.
We got a whole nother couple minutes left, man. You got it.
Well, I mean, do you want to maximize your time?
Well, you know what? You got a point. You got a point. You got me there. He got me. He should that darn he's right there. He strikes again. Yeah, make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe and follow and everything. We're gonna dive into this. It's gonna be a fun night. Well, not some, but it's gonna be an interesting night.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Y'all don't go nowhere. Intro's next.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is JP.
This is the Bug.
This is JC.
This is Flash. This is Jimi Hendrix.
And you're listening to
And you're listening to
And you're listening to
the Run and Gun Podcast.
So
let's get going.
Yes.
You give the context and all the good stuff.
He just gonna throw that on me. Okay. So
Hey,
you've
had the interview with him before.
That's true too. I have.
That was before my time.
That was before your time. That was before we evolved here. So yeah, I was gonna come on here and start talking about how we're leaving the MEAC and everything, but we got to talk about the elephant in the room. AD Gosha's out as athletic director, and also too, yeah. If y'all are watching on YouTube, feel free to hop in the comment section, give your takes and everything.
How you feel about it?
Yes, because we would really love to know how y'all feel about this. My thing is, from what I gather about this thing.
I said, and if it's justified or not when we get into the details.
Yeah. But yeah, honestly, from my understanding of this is, just the rumor from what I've seen, apparently from sources. Apparently it's a rumor circulating regarding the UEN deal being made without the university's knowledge. And so with that being said, sometimes, in terms of contracts, a violation, whether how great or how small it is, a violation is still a violation. So with that being said, he was let go. And like I've told some people that have asked me about this, it feels a little extreme to just, fire him. But at the same time too, I mean, I understand the business world of things. And sometimes little things pay big prices, and that's what this is. I'm genuinely hoping. I was genuinely hoping that this wasn't true at all. I really was. Having met Kortne Gosha and having had him on here and everything. I mean, if you go back and listen to it, the Running Gun Podcast, Season 1, Episode 55, Running Gun Podcast, Episode 55. it was one of those interviews where it was just like we were talking to him about it, and he told us, hey, this is the vision I have for this university is going. We're going to do great things here. It was, it was just like you kind of knew like FAMU was in good hands with him. Like he honestly, in my opinion, is the best athletic director this university's had, given how short a time he's come in and done what he's had to do, what he's done. I'm just gonna actually run through a few things off the top of my head that he's done. He put down a new court in the Gaither Gymnasium. He basically had a plan to, get FAMU out of a bind regarding the whole Perry Street situation during football season. Renovated Bragg Stadium, got new turf put in. He got the turf wasn't his doing. My bad. He got new stands put up on the visitor side and on the home side. A new press box is going up. Basically, just remodeled the entire field house. Oh my goodness. So many different things. He personally saw to it that people got their season tickets. He personally himself went out on the practice field and mowed the lawn himself. How many athletic directors in this country at any of these universities go out there themselves and go mow the lawn? How many?
I'm gonna take it under 5 at most.
Under 5?
Yeah, I'm gonna just say under 5. You don't want to diss whatever D3 school or D2 school that actually has it.
True. But I mean, and it's insane. And then not to mention too the fact that he's the man that literally got FAMU out of the MEAC and put FAMU in the SWAC. But by the way, honestly,
Ahead of his time.
Exactly, ahead of his time.
Had a schedule.
Way ahead of schedule.
He jump ship. There we go.
Yes, and the fact that the MEAC is now really a sinking ship. No matter how you want to spin it. For those of you out there saying, "Oh, well, you can't say this and you can't say that," you did. No, it's just the facts are the facts. But I now propose this question to you, Ace. Who do you look to now if you're FAMU to get an AD? Some people say Mike Smith, former FAMU football player from back in the day, should be the new AD.
Well, I mean, it depends on what kind of like his administration, right? Like his grouping up at the top with the athletic group. If they were all in it on this contract breach, then I'm assuming we're gonna have to look either outside the building, or you look at a former player like Mike Smith, or you just go look at whoever the assistant was, and just say next man up on short notice. Because let's be real, spring football's already going on. You just had basketball wrap up, but all the next set of sporting events coming up are coming up fast, so it's not like something you just dwiddle your thumbs with and say, okay, you're gonna have to do a thorough process, of course, but you don't want to just sit there and be like, oh, okay, what are we gonna do? Because everybody else is moving through, and you can't be the last one there, just like holding your little bag of bread and just like, wait, what's going on?
I agree, and here's the other thing too that I said earlier. You cannot continue to have a revolving door of athletic directors like FAMU has had, because at one point they had Kellen Winslow. Not that Kellen Winslow, but his dad that played for the Chargers.
Oh, the senior, not the junior.
Oh yeah, no, God no, not the junior. The junior, he's got mental problems. He may not even never get out of prison. But yeah, Kellen Winslow Sr. Then you have Milton Overton, who wasn't that bad of an AD, who had plans to actually, tear down and rebuild a whole brand new field house. That never got done. But we are where we are, and we're thankful for that. You had, I believe his name was Nelson Townsend, who died. He was the one that hired Coach Alex Wood, who came in before Willie Simmons. Which honestly, I don't know why that man hired Alex Wood. Alex Wood was probably one of the worst coaches in the history of FAMU football. And then, like I said, after him, you have Milton Overton. And then from there, you get Kortne Gosha, who comes in the day of the 2019 Florida Classic. and takes this athletic department to new heights and everything. So I mean, you have to find someone now that is going to be just as good or better. You
Yeah.
cannot step back. You have to continue to go forward.
Yeah.
And as most, go ahead, Ace. I know you want to say something.
No, I was gonna say like you got to make sure you don't get like a football centric guy because I mean FAMU's athletics have been much more well rounded. It's not in just only football. So you need to have a guy who could think of the other athletic aspects of the school. So like you saw volleyball and their success, you saw men's basketball and their success, you saw their baseball team having success. It's not just the football team having success. So you have to keep an eye out for when you're hiring the next guy. It's not just a football centric athletic or football minded athletic guy.
Athletic
Just
department.
dribbling. Yeah, athletic director.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, and you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. You do. You need a guy that's going to focus and show love to every sport. We've seen with multiple cases, honestly. Prime example is the school right across the street with Florida State. As soon as Jimbo and that administration stepped out, so I think under Stan Wilcox, Florida State became a nationally respected basketball program.
Yeah, I was gonna say they became a basketball school, then a football school.
Exactly. And then, here recently, Stan Wilcox has stepped away, and I think Florida State's trying to climb out of that hole and be a football program, a football dominant school again. But with FAMU, it's like, what are you known for? Football. What brings in the majority of the money in most of these athletic programs or universities? Football. So I mean, you got to find somebody that's going to, like I said, do better or be just as good. So that's my take of this. But it is painful to see that.
All right, but since we were mentioning the sinking ship of the MEAC, let's Howard is leaving them.
Oh yeah, dude. Honestly, like I said, I don't care how people want to spin this. This conference is a sinking ship. I literally when I look at this, I look at the Titanic. It's literally like watching the Titanic hit the iceberg, full speed ahead, and yeah, this is not good right now. Yeah, you do need to look in some other places. Maybe look at some D2 schools. Something. I don't know. Some people have asked, what's going to happen to the Celebration Bowl. I know I guess I kind of lit a fire on Twitter. Everybody got kind of a little bit in their feelings about it when I said the SWAC should look at the conference championship, but not conference championship, but the SWAC should look at the FCS playoffs, but there's things that kind of hinder that a little bit. I know now. So before we get all uppity about this, I know now. Okay, just want to say that. No, don't come for me. Don't get upset. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't get upset because some people no, because Ace, people are sensitive nowadays about certain things and everything. You have to watch what you say.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, cancel culture out there and stuff watching this too. So we got to be careful what we say. But
oh yeah, can't piss them off.
From what I've heard, some people are saying like they've had talks with teams like Tennessee State and stuff, or teams that would also be like the highest ranking HBCU that's not in the SWAC going to go play the SWAC camp in the Celebration Bowl, and maybe making a game out of that. But I mean, we'll see. I don't know how that would work. But I mean, my thing is hopefully I would like to see the MEAC kind of recover. I feel like something needs to happen in the MEAC's front office or something. I don't know what it is.
Get one of the Botter teams from the AAC and see if they'll try to convince them to go rebuild their program down in the MEAC.
Yeah,
like UConn or somebody. If you can get UConn, they got their own issues right now.
Look, the way it's going, honestly, if they can get UMass to take a step back,
or even UMass,
yeah, like, hey, why not? The way things are looking, and then I hate it because it's one of us, and it's one of our conferences that is struggling. So I do hate this for them, but it is the truth. They are a sinking ship. Hopefully they climb out of it. The other thing too is FAMU added two transfers actually here yesterday. A very successful day for FAMU's football program, despite what's going on right now. Two big time transfers came in. Isaiah Connolly, who comes in from Coastal Carolina, and then you have Devontae Wilson, who transfers in from Kansas.
One good football program and another semi-questionable football program. Albeit they did have a successful year last year.
See, hold on. I know where you're going with that. A lot of people, and then see the thing about it is, I'm gonna say this too. Isaiah Connolly played at Edgewater, I believe, in Jacksonville, not Edgewater. Oh my gosh, Rains. I think it was Rains. I think it was. I'm not entirely sure which one it was. Let me actually, Ace, you talk while I look this up.
About.
Oh my goodness.
I'm
Okay,
wrong.
Let's see. He's from Orlando. He went to Edgewater High School. I believe I was listening to a source. Somebody said that his high school, Edgewater, was ranked in the top 50 in the country. So he is a running back that's seen a decent amount of production.
That's good.
He is reliable. I think some people are going to look at his stats, and his stats may be a little misleading, but I think he just needs an opportunity, honestly. And then you got Devontae Wilson, which I know some people will laugh and say, "We got a kid from Kansas, really?" Or
That's what I just said.
First, look, and here's what I'm going to say about this. And I say this.
Hey, Kansas had a good year last year. I give them their props. They had a couple good wins.
Exactly. And look, I'm going to say this. A lot of people are going to laugh at it because it's Kansas, and Kansas is not a good team. But I said the same thing about the offensive lineman last season that transferred in from Florida State to FAMU. And people were like, you should be careful how you speak about kids coming in from Florida State. They may not be that good. No, that's not entirely true. Sometimes the scheme does not benefit the player.
Those are just crappy coaches when that happens. They try to keep their system instead of build a system around the players they got.
Exactly. And you're seeing now, because nobody criticized those Florida State transfers from coming into FAMU here recently, have they? Nobody's criticizing them.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, the scheme means a lot. So Devontae Wilson probably was not in a good scheme at Kansas, coming over to FAMU, and then also to seeing the success of Antoine Collier and Marquise Bell, and realizing, you know what, I could make an impact too.
Hey, our boy Chris last night said he has Marquise as a top HBCU product coming out this year. So that's some good praise right there for Marquise. I mean, if you get another guy come in and make that kind of impact, you're in good hands. You're in very good hands.
Bingo.
And you're right. The thing about Kansas, that's my bad. I shouldn't jump to conclusions and make fun of him for coming from Kansas.
No, I mean, hey, look, it's okay. I mean, I think there is like a mass exodus going on at Kansas, because Kansas, they lost another kid earlier in the offseason to Florida State.
Hey, let me tell you this one. If the Kansas basketball program into the FAMU basketball program, everybody be ecstatic. But
Thank you.
He could turn it to a flop, or he could turn it to a star.
That part.
You know, what we do about it?
Look, I'm telling you, it's
but okay. I mean, I like this thing about what Primetime having his players go at it and practice to work out all their issues now, rather than dealing with that kind of issues later on in the regular season.
I like that, but I don't like that because honestly, look, you're having the kids swing at each other and they got helmets on.
Swinging. I thought it was more like, how do you say it? Like jawing more than swing.
No, they are literally fist flying, hand-to-hand combat.
Okay, that's a different thing.
Look, my thing is I respect what he's doing, but it's all fun and games until someone breaks their hand trying to punch a helmet.
That's just not smart.
Exactly. Like, you may, because honestly, I don't know what it is, but it's like basic human instinct goes out the window all of a sudden when a
You
fight
throwing
starts.
hands.
Yeah, when both guys have helmet on, basic human instinct just goes out the window, and we just start punching each other. And once we punch a metal face mask, we break our hands. So yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. So I mean, that's why I'm against it. I get where he's going with it. It's like, oh, let him get it out of him. Let him get it out of him. All this stuff, and let him get it out of their system. But you have to learn to draw the line somewhere. You have to.
All right.
Again,
I mean,
also. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say the thing with Alabama State bringing in the Auburn quarterback. I mean, same thing with a guy bringing in a Kansas quarterback, Kansas player. It's like you don't know exactly if it's gonna be a good player, if it's gonna be a bad player. You gotta wait to see what's gonna happen with them. It's kind of like, I guess, my judgment of Max Johnson and Texas A&M, but whatever.
Hey, look, you never know. But we'll talk about that later. But like I said, hey, Auburn's having a mass exodus of players. Bo Nix left, although Bo Nix isn't going to play. This kid left.
Hey, Malik Willis came out of Auburn. He went to Liberty, and he's going to be a first-round pick, probably top 10.
Exactly. So Alabama probably just hit a gym. That's all I can say about that.
Yep. And they have a Kale Glass who did good.
Exactly. There you have it. But folks, we are also
State.
That's Alabama A&M. But folks, we are going to move on to the we are going to move in the portion of the show. Again, we're here to react to your comments about AD Gosha not stepping away, but leaving FAMU effective immediately. We are here to talk about it and discuss that. So if you're going to hop in the comment section, please do so on YouTube, and we'll react and we'll discuss it with you. But as we do that, we do transition now to the NFL. So something interesting about it is Cooper Kupp.
Let's talk the comparison of two NFC West wide receivers and the difference in mentality. Albeit, I don't think Debo is after the money more than he's just trying to get paid as a wide receiver and not as a running back. He doesn't want to be played as a running back, I guess. But let's talk about Cooper Kupp wanting a deal that works out for both the Rams and for himself, and not trying to, eat up $25 million in the cap space. I thought you were going to jump in there, but it's all right.
Oh, my bad. Anyway, no, my bad.
Our chemistry's just off today. We're like in two different worlds.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
All right, so we're going to talk about two different NFC West wide receivers. One who's looking in the Los Angeles Rams, Cooper Kupp, who's looking at a deal that's going to benefit both himself and the Rams. And Deebo Samuel, who's requesting a trade from the 49ers because he doesn't want to be played as a running back anymore. He wants to be exclusively a wide receiver, which is also probably where the money is.
Look, I can
understand.
Body
also would hold up longer.
I can understand his frustration. He realizes that he's got to be the Swiss Army knife and he has to do everything for the team and everything. So, like, he wants to be a primarily wide receiver one, and he feels like if he can be that somewhere else, he can. Because I feel like he realizes next season it's going to be more of the same, and he's just going to wear himself away, and he's going to burn himself out. We have a comment. Do y'all think with Gosha leaving is going to affect the season? I don't think that it – well, okay. This is actually a great question. I do think that it may have some type of effect on the season because, again, the athletic director is the one that makes things go behind the scenes for all the athletic programs. So I think it's going to have some type of effect because, I mean, and then also, too, AD Gosha is the one that's out here marketing this athletic department and marketing this university. So with him gone, you do lose that portion of it. Like, if, for instance, when Why Not Us came to FAMU this past football season, if anybody remembers the scene where he promised the offensive lineman a vending machine, a snack machine in the field house if they won a certain game, he promised that to them. He got it for them because he pulled some strings and everything and made it happen. So, I mean, it's little things like that and bigger things behind the scenes that we don't see that are probably going to not happen. Like, there may like there may be a slight delay in certain things happening, such as, I've had a vision of FAMU getting an indoor practice facility. He probably had that in mind down the line at some point for FAMU. I don't know if that's going to happen anymore. The other thing too is when we had him on last year, I talked to him and asked him about, what is the possibility of FAMU maybe adding a sport such as soccer? Because soccer is becoming very popular. What's the chances of adding that as a sport to the university? And he said that was something that they were keeping an eye on. So that idea out the window, that's gone now.
What
So
is it though? It depends on who they bring in. Is it really though?
and that's the thing too. It does depend on who they bring in and who and that person's
the vision for it.
The what?
And the person's respective vision.
Exactly. So, that's the thing. You have to wonder, like, what is the next AD's vision? Where does he plan to take this? Where does he plan to take this university and this athletic department? We saw where Gosha wanted to take it. So whoever they bring in next, and the other thing too we have to worry about is a delay in trying to find who do you bring in next. Do they go with someone in house that was on his staff or under his watch, or do they go in another direction outside and bring someone in? I don't know. But yeah, Ace, what's your thoughts?
Well, I kind of put in the thing where it's gonna affect the season, like what you said with behind the scenes, but it's also gonna affect how if this person has a different vision from what was already in place and he wants to make changes. Like if him and another like a coach or something don't have the chemistry and they don't get along, you could potentially see, because if he's the AD, he's gonna have superiority over a coach. So it's like you could see changes there maybe. And every school's like, even when where you went to high school, like they had the AD and one of the coaches didn't vibe together, and what the coach ended up leaving. So it was like if you can see those kind of potential changes happening, or like what you're saying with the sports, like if soccer would have come, but it's not going to come. But maybe if it's a bad AD, I think you would see that. But if it's a good one who's open-minded and stuff like that, you're going to see more, maybe like how you're hoping for the progressive type of AD, like keeping moving forward, then you would see more like how they would keep it. So they're going to keep the same ideas that Goucher had, but also build upon that and keep going further on.
Yes.
With maybe some better ideas. So it's a two-sided sword.
I agree. It really is. And oh my goodness. See, I love this right here. There are people even commenting about this in other posts. The whole thing is also too, because a lot of this is falling on the president's shoulders as well. People are wondering, is it time to let the president slide, Dr. Larry Robinson? Is it time for him to go? I think there's going to be a serious amount of backlash with this because of the alumni being upset about this. So people are honestly saying they never should have let President Mangum go. And for those that don't know, President Mangum was president back in 2014. She was let go, and she was loved, from my knowledge, by students. She was a huge supporter of the March of 100. She was a huge supporter of getting attendance at the university up. And like I said, again, she had Kellen Winslow Sr. in her corner as athletic director. And now she was let go because the higher ups didn't want her, which is, I know in Ace's opinion, that's surprising to hear.
Us boosters and all that has to play in universities and high schools and all that. So if the money people say certain things, then they're gonna see that kind of transpire because that's where the money comes from.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's true. Again, though, as we do move back to the NFL, though, if y'all have any questions regarding that situation, please do comment. Please, we will answer your questions.
All right.
Oh wait, we got another one.
Either better have a better plan. Better have a plan because I'm pretty sure they expected it. It's definitely time for Larry to go. All the
all the APR, academic progress rates.
Oh, yeah. Was under his watch.
Yeah. Yeah, because honestly, look, people don't realize, but like before Gosha got into town, and even really before Willie Simmons showed up, FAMU was productions and scholarships. APR scores were down and stuff. So I mean, Larry Robinson was here. Larry Robinson was there. Willie Simmons wasn't there. Gosha wasn't there. When those two came in, that stuff went away. You noticed. FAMU wasn't eligible for the Celebration Bowl in 2019. And they had a record that was better than A&T's where they could have gone and beaten Alcorn that year. So I mean, I'm like him. I'm like Ashton. Have a plan. I hope you have a plan.
Yep. But okay, so where were we? We was on Cooper Kupp and Debo.
Yeah.
Or you want to talk about the fact Seattle gave up 2 first-round picks for a safety while Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, and probably Debo Samuel were all going to get traded for first and seconds.
Look, my thing is, was it AJ Brown, Debo, and wasn't it DK
Terry
Metcalf?
McLaurin, enter DK.
Enter.
Yeah, all 4 probably on the block.
All those guys, they realize their worth, and they should get paid, rightfully so.
I think 3 of them have the same agent as Denzel Ward, who doesn't have the production to justify being the highest paid corner, but somehow he is.
It's crazy.
I mean, I guess he got paid off of potential more than production, but he isn't better than Jalen Ramsey to be getting that much.
Oh, Denzel Ward?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, not at all. Not at all. That was actually a question I had for y'all last night is, do you think that he got overpaid?
Yeah. I mean, J.C. Jackson is getting 16.5. And he's leading the league in interceptions the last 2 years.
I agree. I fully agree with you. Because I do think that he was overpaid. I looked at that contract. It was like 100.5 million.
Yeah, 100.5.
Yeah, no, he got overpaid. He way overpaid. I guess people just trying to reset the market and stuff, but overpaid.
Christian Kirk. That Christian Kirk deal is massively overpaid. And that's why you're seeing DK, Terry, and all them guys trying to get out. But that's an interesting question for you. I want to see what your answer is. So who do you think is going to be the first wide receiver taken off the board and where? We'll do our mock draft next Wednesday, but what do you think of it?
Oh my gosh! See, now you put me on the spot. That's tough because
Okay, I'll give you 4 names. It's probably gonna be one of the 4. It's gonna be either Drake London from USC, the 2 Ohio State wide receivers in Wilson and Olave, or Alabama's Jamison Williams. Out of the 4, which one do you think is gonna go first?
Let me look at the draft order, and then let me see.
The first wide receiver might go maybe 8 if Atlanta's really desperate. It's going to go. The potential landing spots are 8, 10, 11, 15, give or take, at Philadelphia. But that's going to change wherever Debo lands. If Debo lands in New York or Philadelphia, the need for a wide receiver there is going to go away.
Let's see. So you got Jacksonville. They don't need a wide receiver. Houston, no. They need – well, really, Houston needs everything. You got the Giants.
Oh, yeah, and at 13. So
the Giants could potentially go for a wide receiver.
If they don't like Tony, yeah, they're not too happy with Tony right now.
Dude, honestly, that's the first one. I feel like Chris Olave could go to New York. And they got 2 picks.
They have issues, though. They have offensive line and defensive line issues. Or not defensive line, but like secondary issues, because James Bradbury is probably going to get moved. So they're going to have a corner. They just paid Kenny Galladay a bunch of money.
And then the Broncos, I know they've got Jerry Jeudy. They've got Cortland Sutton.
What are you looking at? The Broncos don't got a first-round pick anymore.
Oh, this is an
Seattle
old
at 9.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. This is an old article. Whoops. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is from the day before Valentine's Day.
All right, for Peter Schrager from NFL Network's latest mock draft, he's got Jameson Williams going first at number 10 to the
Now,
Jets.
I'm gonna cut it clear and dry like this. Jameson Williams is a nice wide receiver, but I feel like the ACL tear may hinder him a little bit, and therefore I feel like Chris Olave may still go first because Chris Olave's last 2 seasons were perfect. So I do feel like Chris Olave still might end up being the first wide receiver off the board. But I do ask you, I do say that to ask you this. What unexpected turn can we expect in the draft? Because there's one thing I've learned from watching the past 5 years of the NFL draft. It's always to expect the unexpected. There's always an unexpected move. Like
Well, the
Mahomes,
last 2 years, there not been a number top 10 pick getting traded. The last 2 years, top 10 pick. There were no trades in the top 10. Once Justin Fields slipped out of the top 10, that's when you saw the Giants move up to 11. That's the only trade in the past 2 years on draft night. You'd see the 49ers move up to number 3, but that was 2 weeks or 3 weeks before. So you got to be okay, what's our plan here? But I'm going to look up the draft from last year, and I'll tell you who the unexpected was. But
well, my thing is this: you had Mahomes, and you had the Mahomes and Trubisky situation a few years ago.
Well, no, Trubisky was unanimous over both of those two for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what those analysts never like to mention, is that they had Trubisky over Mahomes and Watson in 2017.
That's true. That's true. I mean, see, my thing is this: from a personal standpoint, leading up to that, I didn't think Mahomes would turn out to be the way he turned out to be. I did not. But I knew he was nice. But I didn't think Mitch Trubisky was that much better than him. I knew Deshaun Watson was going to be good. So I had a good feeling about Watson. But
actually, I'm looking at the top 20 of the draft. The only surprises in that draft from last year was Xavier Collins at 16 and Alex Leatherwood at 17.
Alex Leatherwood went 17. You know what?
That's and about right. Good. He wasn't that good. He was supposed to go in the second round, and he went in the first. Damon Arnett the year before, or 2 years before that, for the Raiders. Ruggs going before Judy and Lamb, maybe. We don't know what happened to Henry Ruggs, but.
Oh my gosh. Too soon.
I didn't mention. I didn't say specifically. I'm just saying.
That's true.
I thought Judy was going to be the first wide off the board, and the Raiders went speed over skill. So.
That's true. Now, let me ask you this as well. Who should quietly keep an eye on Baker Mayfield? The Panthers have already stated, Ben McAdoo already said, we're rolling with Sam Darnold. So I think you can cancel out Carolina. Hey, look, Ben McAdoo got fired from the Giants. I don't trust Ben McAdoo either.
Exactly.
But I don't trust him. I don't trust him to make a logical decision and look to the street and go pick up a guy like Kaepernick or Baker Mayfield either. If something
he's not the head coach. Matt Rule is the head coach. So I don't even know. Like Chris said yesterday, the Panthers. He has no idea what the Panthers are doing. The Panthers look like a discombobulated mess.
They do.
So I don't know.
That's why I don't trust.
They did say Jeff Darlington, after he broke the Debo news today, he said that if Baker Mayfield was to get cut today, right, he would be a Pittsburgh Steeler tomorrow.
Ooh. You know what?
That's the thing with why Baker Mayfield hasn't been moved yet. It's nobody wants to pay him that 20-something million that his fifth-year option is.
And see, the thing is about that too is this: Houston could use him. Houston needs.
They have Davis Mills. He was the same as Tua last year.
Hey, but I will say
he would have been a top 2. He would have been the best quarterback in this year's draft class.
Hey,
I'm
possibly.
just saying.
I know.
Well, Baker Mayfield would have been the second best quarterback in this year. I think people would have took Malik Willis over Baker, but Baker would have been better than half the options in this year's class too.
That's understandable.
But it's that whole contract is what's screwing him up.
It is, and then I think too the fact that you said he would be a Pittsburgh Steeler tomorrow is another fact that I think the fact that the Browns see him as potentially going to a division rival and staying in the AFC, they don't want to let that happen.
No, they wouldn't trade him, but if they cut him, then he would be in Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, see, and the Browns don't want to see that happen.
But ain't nobody trading for Baker Mayfield right now, so they might have to cut him. Because I can't see any possible way he's on the roster for training camp. There's no way he's going to be in that roster because for the voluntary OTAs right now, that quarterback room's already set with Deshaun, Jacoby Brissett, and Joshua Dobbs. They're already bonding with the wide receivers in the team. And Baker Mayfield sitting at home doing, I don't even know. He's on his own right now. So
I mean, I'm sure he feels betrayed and hurt and everything. So I mean, I can't blame him for not showing up.
Well, at least we have no more at home with Baker Mayfield from Progressive.
Hey, look, we might get more because he's definitely at home.
That's true.
Look, we might get more. Like he might really be at home and everything. Like not even in the stadium. So I mean, you never know. But yeah,
where we at? Jason Light with his thing on Brady and the Dolphins. I don't know. What did he say? I have no idea what he said.
He basically said that like he has no knowledge of Brady and the Dolphins having anything going on, or him wanting to have like a part ownership of the Bucks or of the Dolphins. He says they haven't even really talked about that. My thing is I feel like this is just something that's continually being pushed by couch GMs and by Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk from NBC. After Bruce Arians had already confirmed that nothing's going on, and plus the fact that Tom Brady was there when Bruce Arians announced his retirement and when they introduced Todd Bowles. So I'm still having a tough time even believing that.
Them people trying to say the Saints going to trade both of them first-round picks for Debo, that ain't happening. Yeah, there's a reason why they didn't pay Marcus Williams and Teron Armstead. They said we're going to have to fix the cap. So in 2 years, they're going to be so clear. It's going to be crystal, like a nice day in Hawaii. They have one more bad year of cap space, which is why they didn't keep those two guys.
Took a visit to Jarvis Landry took a visit to New Orleans.
Oh, no, that's a negotiating tactic, so Cleveland will give him more money. I've gotten used to the Saints. They're not getting juice.
You got to have faith. Jeez.
We've been burned.
See, look, and then watch it tomorrow come across the bottom screen. Jarvis Landry's a Saint.
No, they're not signing him before the draft.
He's so I don't even know how to describe it, America.
I'm looking at the 2019 draft, and there's one possibility I could think of where you were asking earlier about the unexpected, right? Yeah. So that happened at pick 4 in 2019 when the Raiders took Cleveland Farrell because nobody expected that one. Then you saw the Bills trade up for Josh Allen. Remember they did the deal with the Bucks.
Yes.
They did the on draft night. They did the trade into the top 10. That's the last time you saw a top 10 trade. So for your answer there, that's where you would look. Wait, no, that wasn't 2019. That was 2018. I'm looking at that was the year they took Ed Oliver. My bad. Go back one more year. That's when you had the top trade.
Yes, I remember that. Yes.
I looked at 2019 and I saw Josh Allen. I forgot. Wait, that's the Josh Allen in Jacksonville. Not Josh Allen in Buffalo. Whoopsie. But yeah. Let's talk some NCAA. They have some news coming out of the NCAA where Villanova's
we got NBA.
Oh, you're doing NBA? Okay.
Yeah,
This is a different thing. You're bringing the NBA baby Groot Thanos Michael Jordan thing into the running gun.
I threw you a curveball. So I'm so happy I did this. Season sweeps are looming.
Oof, tough luck, Atlanta.
Look, hey,
Well,
that's definitely
the series
fun.
doesn't start until they win a home game. The road team wins until the road team wins a game.
True. So, look, my thing is, I do think Miami's going to go in and steal Game 3. I do.
I want to know how Trae Young is shooting 2 for 23 from 3 right now. When I said I stopped doubting Trae. That's why I picked him. I said I'm gonna stop doubting Trae because he went off in the play-in, and then in the playoffs this year, he's been ice. Ice Trae has been frozen Trae.
Yeah, he has.
Hey, but he ain't DeMar to Frozen. That's just a different level of Frozen.
I mean, honestly, too, like if you think about it,
did the Milwaukee game start yet?
No.
Boston, New York is going on right now. Brooklyn.
But I'll be real with you. The game I did feel like was going to a sweep because I think
I'm liking this. Toronto's up right now, 36-21. Sorry for interrupting you.
You're good. But yeah, I think the Warriors are going to sweep the Nuggets.
Yeah.
I think the Heat are going to sweep the Hawks. The 76ers right now are trailing.
Yeah, I think that issue with Thibault not playing and the fact that I think the Raptors are starting to get pissed that Joel Embiid and James Harden have shot more free throws as a pair than the Raptors as a team in the first 2 games of the series.
Mm-hmm.
And that's getting them mad.
I also though I will say too, I expected and I'm surprised by this. I expected the Suns Pelicans series to kind of go the way of a sweep. But
I didn't expect it to be a sweep. I thought they were going to win a home game. I didn't expect them to win a game in Phoenix, but the people are making this excuse, it's because Devin Booker got hurt. That's the most idiotic thing I've seen. Because they were up when he got hurt. They were going punch blow for blow when he was in the game and he was dropping 31. And then they were still winning when he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, is it really Devin Booker that was him getting hurt is the reason why you lost? Because, I mean, the Pelicans have been playing the whole year without Zion. So this whole thing with Phoenix and the Booker crutch is kind of annoying.
I mean,
but I try to warn people about Brandon Ingram, but I mean, Lakers fans thought, I mean, they got a bubble ring, so I guess it all counts for them. Somebody said on Twitter that the playoffs aren't the same with the Lakers not in it. So I was like, the Lakers have been in the playoffs twice in the last decade. What are you talking about? They had a team win 3 rings in 4 years. Had Cleveland win their first ring in that time span. The playoffs have been fun. I mean, the KD years were kind of iffy in the playoffs because you knew the KD and Golden State years. Those were kind of not fun, but it was fun the year Toronto won. I had a lot of fun watching that one.
I did not expect that to happen. I was actually expecting Golden State to pull that off. Because I felt like, the thing is, it's so crazy. It's like whenever we feel like in basketball, whenever it feels like a dynasty is about to emerge,
something happens.
It blows up on the runway.
You mean they blow a tire? Well, Klay Thompson blew a knee and KD blew Achilles, but yeah, same thing.
Because that's what I thought. I was like, oh, here we go. And once it gets going, no one's stopping it. But then it crashed. And the same thing happened with the Heat. I was like, you know what? LeBron's going to be here for a while. This is before I realized LeBron team jumped more than anybody. Like, I was like, all right, the Heat are about to take off. This is going to be the next dynasty. And the next thing you know, it crashed.
I'm going to bring some stats from the last Give podcast. We didn't exactly talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Warriors, we were talking about how them sweeping and their former dynasty, right? Well, since that time when Klay blew out his knee and KD blew out his Achilles, the Warriors 3 of Steph, Klay, and Draymond didn't even play really They put like a couple of minutes in the game where Steph got his ankle hurt, and that was the first time they played together since 2019.
Mhm.
Well, they finally all got the band back together, and this time they threw in Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins. Yeah, they had an offensive rating of 204.3. Utah, for perspective, Utah had the highest offensive rating at 116.7 in the regular season. Just putting that out there. From 204 from 116. And they had a defensive rating of 75. Yeah, Golden State and Boston for the season had the best defensive rating at 106. And
Wow.
Jokic, when Draymond's the closest defender, is like 20% from the field and 0 threes.
That sounds about right. I mean, Draymond just D's up Jokic.
And Jokic ain't got a running mate.
Actually, what's funny about that? I actually saw something myself that it pointed to, like, who was guarding Jordan for his 6 rings, and then it pointed to who was guarding LeBron for his rings. I think the most well-known name on that list that was guarding Jordan was Clyde Drexler. And then the most well-known name, well, there's a bunch of them, honestly, that was guarding LeBron. But see, the thing about that is
Kawhi.
a lot of people, huh?
Kawhi got him once.
Yeah, Kawhi
Andre
was,
Iguodala got him once.
and Andre Iguodala was on there too. But see, my thing with that is people post that, and I say this: that's fair, but at the same time too, you have to look at the eras. The eras are different.
The punching and the whacking that Jordan took.
Exactly. And then the fact is, too, teams back in the 90s did not have to form super teams to win rings. Teams in present day have to form super teams in order to beat each other. Because with you two, this was your lifetime too. Growing up, you had maybe like 2 stars on the team, and then you had.
Do you classify Milwaukee as a super team? Like, do you classify Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton as a super team with Giannis?
Don't they have Dante?
That's a fair question.
Don't they have
He got
Dante?
traded. He was hurt last year. He got traded this year.
Okay. Do I classify them as a super team? Oh my gosh, that's a great question.
They're like borderline all-stars. Like Chris Middleton, he's gotten 2 all-stars, but I'm like, he's like okay every now and then, but he's not a consistent playoff performer like how you had the Warriors with KD and Clay and Steph all dropping 20 a game.
Because I mean, I look at that Milwaukee Bucks team the same way I look at that Toronto Raptors team.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like they're kind of identical. Like I'm like they got all stars, but like it was weird.
Let me just nail the coffin for you. In game 1, right, of Chicago Milwaukee this year, Chris Middleton shot 4 for 13 from the field. He had 11 points. Drew Holiday shot 6 of 16 for 15 points. The second highest score on the Bucks was Brook Lopez with 18 for shooting 50%. I mean, wow. the Milwaukee is Giannis and support people. It's not Giannis and a star. So,
wow,
it's like there's no real super teams this year in the playoffs.
There really isn't, and the one
they're duos. They're not big threes.
And see, that's where I like that the league's going back to. I hope it stays that way too, where you don't need super teams to kind of be somebody, because the one that there was with the Lakers, that was a train wreck.
I tried to warn you. I told you the old head lineup wasn't gonna work.
I didn't have much faith in it, honestly.
Yeah, and then Flash goes on a rant with a guest on. Well, we still need to talk to him about that. Actually, that's not for this show. But yeah, so I'm like, you have duos, you have the Tatum and Brown, you have the Jimmy. Well, I guess Miami you can classify them as a potential big 3. Chicago, maybe.
Colorado, Golden State, they got triplets.
Oh no, Golden State got they called them Super Splash Bros. I think is what they called them.
Yeah, like because I know
Or
they got
triplets.
Steph, Clay, and what's the other boy?
Jordan Poole, the Michigan boy.
Yeah, I mean, and Jordan Poole just kind of came in out of nowhere like that. So I mean, because I
What's
feel like they didn't.
Jordan Poole was the 28th pick in a draft.
Yeah, see, so they kind of didn't expect that to happen, but like that's just again, like I said about a few months ago, that's just Golden State drafting well,
Developing.
and drafting well and developing. And
I think the
Steve
best
Kerr,
thing that happened for Poole was his rookie year was the year Steph had the. It was his rookie year was D'Lo, Steph, and Steph was hurt like half the year, and so it was just him and D'Lo, and he had to learn how to be a number one, and he had the rough goes of it. And then last year Steph was also hurt, but he didn't have Clay, so then he got more as a number two, and now he's just in it, and he has the experience from the first 2 years as what was going on. Which
exactly.
Is if you'll piss off Miami fans if you say he's better than Hero, but he kind of is.
Exactly. And see, that's where, and I remember it too. People wrote off the Warriors saying it was done. And here come the Warriors back again, making noise, being consistent, throwing up shots and getting them, and just demoralizing other teams.
Did you see that one with Poole? He was like in the paint, right? And he just stepped all the way back to the 3-point line and just jacked it up and it went in. And I'm like,
I think I did.
Now?
I said, I think I did.
He's just toying the Steph way. He's Steph toying. I'm like, bro, what?
Oh yeah, no, he is. He is. He really and it's only going to get scarier from here on out because the more that he plays, the more confidence he's going to get, and the better it's going to be for Steph and Draymond and Clay. So I'm like, look,
but some news before we go in the college basketball realm. Villanova head coach Jay Wright's probably gonna be retiring soon this year. They're just trying to finalize everything for him to retire. So hell of a career, dude. You had what two championships in 5 years. So that's a hell of an accomplishment. You got that program good and great for solid. I don't even know how many years he's been there. It feels like forever. They said NBA teams trying to get him there, and everybody's like, ain't nobody trying to go to the Lakers in that dump. Not after the way how they handled the Vogel firing. So,
look, I've given up on the Lakers. At this point, I look at the Lakers like I look at the Cowboys.
Oh yeah,
that's I look at them the same way. That's how I'm going to stick to it. So I'm going to just leave it at that. But folks, that's going to do it for another episode. This was a pretty fun-filled episode. We talked about a lot. Definitely got our thoughts out as far as AD Gosha. Again, like I said, if you're going to look for someone, and this is going to be my closing thoughts for the night, if you're going to get someone, find someone that was doing just as good of a job, or if not better, someone that's going to take the baton and continue to run with it for this athletic department. And don't bring
a guy who...
Go ahead.
No. I was just gonna finish your sentence and say, don't get a guy who's gonna take the baton and just stop and turn around and go the other way.
Oh, exactly. No, because I mean, again, the best is still yet to come. Just get someone that makes good decisions, my God, because I've already said my piece. The revolving door of athletic directors at FAMU has got to stop. And I don't know.
You could just sit there at 20, 30 years and just keep it going.
Yeah, really. Honestly, because I don't know who the puppet master is that's pulling the strings, that's hiring and firing these good people that are trying to do their jobs and want to help and grow the brand. But I don't know who it is, but it's got to stop.
Some booster got their butt hurt.
Probably.
I hate to say it, but that's probably exactly what happened.
Hey, that's usually how these things always happen. Usually,
but I mean, you look at like NFL and in college, when you have stable leadership at the top, them teams generally have success. You see New England, you see Pittsburgh, you see Baltimore, those kind of teams. They've had success because they've had the same type of leadership for a long run. Like the Bucks finally had a GM for a while, and look at them, they're now having success. Like they kept Leitch and they didn't fire him quick. And they're having success. Alabama, they're having success.
Exactly. And see, this comes back to something else that was said on College Game Day this past offseason. I hate to do this, and because I sound like that other guy on the show that was on last night. Not Chris, but the other guy. But like, I mean, look, you look at the University of Miami. Why does Miami struggle so much? The administration does not care about football or sports for that matter. And then you keep recycling head football coaches at the University of Miami, so you get the results you get at the University of Miami.
The same thing as you at the South.
Yeah, no, see, so you need that trifecta. You need a good leader, president. You need a good athletic director. You need good coaches. You build that pyramid right, it'll take care of itself. And again, Alabama's the standard. FAMU needs to find an AD to put in.
They need a president. I like what Ashton said. They need a president.
Yeah, no. Oh, no, they do. They do. I think they
started
do
at the top. I mean, the phrase always goes start from the bottom. Now you're here, but I think start from the top and fix it.
All I'm gonna say, and as I close, all I'm gonna say is this: no other FAMU president before Larry Robinson. I don't care if it was a spring game or not. No FAMU president before him ever forgot how to do the Rattler charge. That's right there. That was a head shaker to me. I don't care if we forgiven him or not for that, but that right there, that didn't sit well with me. You can't forget how to do that. You should know that. You should know that by heart.
I think that's a good way to close the show. So people's out there, thank you for this episode. We got our sense out, man. We got it all out. We even brought the NBA back for this. It's debut in the running gun. Yeah, last game's next week.
Next week's the season finale for this show.
Hey, we need to have our mock draft special and all that. It's NFL draft special. I don't know what we're gonna do for the draft. Are you doing anything?
I hadn't planned on it. I'm probably gonna just I was gonna probably study. I was going to study. Not probably. I was going to.
I probably have a final the day after or Saturday. I'll have to study too. That's finals. Though what's it? Yeah, it's finals week or whatever. So whatever. I'll still be watching it. I'll probably watch the McAfee Draft Spectacular or something with Twitter running on the side.
Y'all take care, America. Y'all be safe. Good night.